song by Pete Rodriguez. This is how you're supposed to feel about your favorite coffee. When somebody criticizes it, you go like this. I like it like that. You know, I like it like that. I like it like that. You know, I like it like that. I like it like that. You know, I like it like that. And the same is for work. And the same is for instance, breasts. I like it like that. You know, I like it like that. So that we are not pressured to modify it unless we want to, because it has some purpose and that brings joy. If sense of self, following that rule of humanism, and intellect, compassionate one, says, in judging self equal to others and loving self as source of love for others, including God as superior, or in no such superiority having significant other, for instance, I know that in pursuit of no harm of all others, and pursuit of no death of others, and in perfectioning self in all that I am, I strive for such same capacity in realization and in work goals, pursuing maximum capacity in all others, excluding none, and in harm of none. And this what makes it, I like it like that. I like it like that because, for instance, pain would not justify efforts in case, for instance, of breast augmentation. And I like it like that because if I did so, I would simply send a message that I am pregnant, for instance, and of femininity. But in fact, it would not be a fact. And I don't want it to appear that way. Or I would send a message that I am someone else. Why would I want to be someone else being myself if I like it that way? And that is something to know and to realize in this series of exercises. Here I am going to talk now about the topic of start the topic of itemization. What's itemization? It's a new term that I've introduced, and it is expressed in epidemiology in pursuit of on a given space of harm or death of one individual or of many individuals that have same characteristics used to in a given time to give pain or sedate to painless existence or impede in full capacity other members or same members of a species, and do so in such way that that pain generates strong message and manifests itself in pursuit of harm of death, sometimes impossible to control. And such is to discapacitate these who possess similar characteristics, sometimes to self, in scary way, and is determined as that confusion of human being same species, different gender often, with an animal or prey, that also in nature is a result of, for a human, failure to provide same standard as for example, a provision of to a wild bison for a group of protected species. So protection from also need to kill. Dog is an example of that. Dog respected and dog well functioning as an adult just comes and goes. There is in Asian on Asian territory place in which dogs are reverted to wildness in no pursuit of contraception, non pursuit of castration or neutering, and are only by humans assisted in non-killing, non-conflicts, provided food, for instance, that is derived from plants, while plants are planted and collected and sufficient, and no one kills or harms or is territorial to push away or push toward in harmful way, preventing freedom, to assure of non-killing, because that is also harm and death. So analyze, when did you fall at providing? Where did you fail at providing? Because you didn't know about itemization. You didn't know about others being important to your lifespan and to your existence. Let me explain now. On a given area in epidemiology, if there are beings suffering, which is expressed on my blog, restoringecosystem.wordpress.com, those beings send a message that creates discomfort, anxiety, visions or flashbacks like night terrors, as well as hatred towards persons who may not be known but present similar characteristics to those that created that harm. So, for example, a slaughterhouse. And even though we don't realize that, we go and we have a hamburger, we finish eating, and suddenly we are being attacked. What happens? Well, two policemen come and attack and try to, harm. So one thinks, what did I do? What did I do? And then one has such a realization. What I have done is participate in creating demand in other humans by ordering that, for instance, hamburger, in having, for instance, bulls, cows, or calves in that very moment, burned with stamps to have something on the head, having the same receptors as humans, is kicking to get out with knife or bolt put to head or with hand of a human to head of that cow or bull or calf, having again shoved a needle into a vagina towards the uterine neck to be impregnated, and to having brother pushed on a sister when they are fighting and they have separate spouses and they don't share such a relationship, having that calf pregnant and knowing that it will be broken and destroyed when born, and rather than it drunk as milk, we don't know that, see, we are not there, results in distress in mind. That distress we can medicate pharmacologically to calm down and presents as endogenic or unknown sources. We also feel grief and sudden unexplainable hatred and resentment towards persons who even are good, and we don't know why did I attack that person, why I dislike that person, why that person has big eyes and looks hateful. Well, that is because we itemize other species, and then the persons who have done so and have as a trigger a creating of such demand as proof, bring action similar to what others do to those animals, as if human would assume role of an animal to harm another human, to eliminate or harm or limit humans from killing more species, to enable peace of mind, instinctively sometimes so, and that is predatorship or instinct to kill. Example of that in some cases is killing of Charles Manson, which is called ritualistic. It is killing of a person that was a spouse of a Polish movie director, Mr. Polanski. In Poland, we consume large amount of pigs. That is the main meat, as opposed to the cows and the cattle source beef. And so that created the second most common or first most common are chickens that we share in the United States and Poland. And so that created confused persons to barge in, and Polanski, because of that vow based on natural state of selfish, selfless, what he loved most in the world and that feedback of blood was his wife. And so killing of that wife was as well result of doing such to pigs. And humans killed humans, writing die pigs on the wall, because we are killing, or somebody else is killing or creating demand, killing those pigs. And often humans unconsciously create the same markings on bodies as they are done in real time to pigs, to humans. And so that realized it's also source of pandemias, epidemias, and of diseases, disabilities, falling and accidents, as well as criminal activity. And diagnostic epidemiologic area assessment consists of knowing what is killing us, creating mental insanity to harm humans or pursue harm or sex in harm instead of in love, because we harm animals. So that forced fertilization, incest in animals, creates pursuit of harm in humans. Humans having then that confusion present in ancient Rome, that another human is not only good but also bad because capable of doing such, or omitting, called itemization, other lives as irrelevant, and then think such way also women or self, as if item okay to kill or okay to be dead or harm. And that can be remedied by cessation, minimization first, based on education of a realization of the premises that I've explained. Cessation of killing none, as in a non-obstacle to well-being and survival, which is expressed in education, in nutrition, in a non-provision of false descriptions of predators. Thief do not mean that someone will attack. That pose means I have something to say on, or I will grab a nut, for instance, and bite. Not that someone will attack necessarily or at all. That is another book of behavioral reading. We need to realize that because reflective killing from assumption based on own awareness of own reputation is common, and animals approach to show potency, to impress, and humans we kill in fear because of red books, as if in a story of misunderstood Little Red Hood, meaning grandma has big teeth, so I'm gonna kill grandma. Well, no, grandma has big teeth. Well, that's good. Then she can actually have, for instance, nuts, and I don't have to pay for her new job. That kind of thing. The same is for animals. Grandma did this. Well, maybe grandma wants to say hello, and if one is good, one can say, I can do the same, and what it is that you are showing, and the animal may be manifesting. Well, if we go to the pursuing to the coconut tree, coconut falls, I bite, you give me half, and that's it. And those are lessons in trust and faith from animals that I will, in I think last chapter, present also as a lecture. Now, itemization consists of perception of a person as an animate or already dead object, and such treatment in this regard to pain, psychological or physical, because of same done in area to animals, or at least some members, as goal and as such education, and in disregard of that creating impulse to harm or kill. And when that ceases to be the case, in no need for forgiveness, resolution of such, but in need of pursuit of education, being same or understanding that goal, that nothing can endure pain regardless of goodness for a long time. Pain causes suffering, so pain causing pain, because self in reflective way judges if something is actually regenerative pain, like muscles post workout, or pain that leads to death, that creates panic and fighting to get out. There are no exceptions. There is nothing, maybe a machine that is set up on a pilot that pursues harm of others without having that inherent capacity. That leads to positive profiling. I have only 40 seconds. Positive characteristics profiling is when we use to mark person as dangerous, to promote observation, to find excuse to limit harm or kill. Good characteristics as premise to promote pursuit, punish for non-pursuit of harm of that person based on